IHTM Sports.
Welcome, folks, to Indian Hill Gymnasium. I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw, bringing you tonight's live action here on a Tuesday night where the Indian Hill Braves, coming into this game, are now 5-4 in the league and 8-6 overall, taking on the Mariemont Warriors, who are 3-6 in the league and 6-10 overall. Brian, another night for the Braves. Going to be a little mix-up in the lineup. We're missing another player, but these Braves have been resilient.
Yeah, Amari Whitehead, the latest, another senior too, which makes it very difficult. And a guy that looked like he was just coming into his own, having a ball and playing really well. So this squad's shortened up a little bit. Great opportunity for some of these guys to do more. And, Braves just continue to persevere. Been a tough season in that regard. One of the things I might think would lift the Braves, got the pep band here tonight, and it's youth basketball night here for the boys, grades 2 through 6. So we should have a loud gym and two different teams here, Rob. Indian Hill with the short numbers, Mariemont, who plays a ton of kids. So it should be interesting. Second time they've played this year.
Yeah, the last time we played Mariemont, I believe we won. It was 72-41, I believe. 71-55 last time. Obviously, back then we had Trey Lopez, senior captain Josh Young starting tonight. That was one of his first games back. Got a little bit of playing time in that game. What's really impressive about this team is if you actually look at the last 3 games is the amount of distribution of points. I mean, you had Amari Whitehead one night, led the team in scoring. Wyatt Watt's been leading the team in scoring. Ty Thornton had a breakout night. Mateo had a breakout night. Right. Just a lot of great contribution. And Birch has had to go deep on that bench to some young players who have come in and given quality minutes.
Yeah, looking back at that game Friday night in mid-December, 73-55, 18-point game. The Braves jumped out 19-2 in the first quarter, and that really was the difference in the game. I mean, it basically was even from there. The Braves in that game shot over 50% from the floor and made 20 of 25 free throws. On the other hand, Mariemont, shot at just 2 of 19 from 3 points. So this is anybody's ball game, Rob.
And Mariemont wins the tip, so they'll get the first offensive possession here on this Tuesday night in front of the youth of Indian Hill. And they come out firing hot, go up 3-0.
Yeah, certainly shot making it helped.
And this is one of the things that's been fun watching this Braves team is they've been very methodical on offense. They're patient, lots of movement, cutting through, looking for, the open lane to drive. Young recovers that ball for the Braves and gets it back out. Feeds it into Robinson, who tips it out to Thornton, off the mark.
Like that, a couple of good looks and little inside-out action on the first possession.
Young with the rebound.
Yeah, Rob, you can see right away, not a traditional post player for Mariemont on the floor, so a tough assignment for Luke Robinson to be able to get out and contest on those shots from distance. On the other hand, you'd like to make Mariemont pay by getting it to the big fella.
And they keep looking for that inside lane. Watts goes in, up, loses the ball. Robinson with the save, and the Braves go up. I'm sorry, it's 2-3.
Yeah, Watts with a great job identifying that they both got mixed up on the switch. Takes it to the basket, and Robinson, whose rebounds are almost all offensive.
Young with a block shot. quickly comes up the court. Gets it off the walks, feeds it into the big man, and that's the way we play basketball here at Indian Hill. Great defense, great quick outlet.
And here, if our cameras can catch it, here we're going to see the motivational speech. This Mariemont team plays a lot of guys, and I think one of the reasons they play a lot of guys is their coach coaches them pretty hard. And when he's not happy, and we'll put somebody else in that'll do something we're asking him to do. So a timeout there and a technical. The Wyowocs making them pay.
So, and the Braves will get the ball back. So this quickly goes to a 6-3 game. Braves will get the ball back.
Yeah, this Braves team, Rob, you know, with some of the things they've had to deal with this season, I think the kids are getting tighter.
Quick pass by Young down to Robinson, who doesn't hold on to the ball. So it'll be a turnover on the Braves.
It's like Luke matched up on Matarese here. Matarese, one of the more efficient players in the league this year.
Young had the block there. Robinson catches Matarese with the body on the follow-through. It'll be shooting 2 from the line.
Ryan Matarese from the field this year at almost 66%, but 58% from the line.
It's a loud gym here tonight, and Matarese sinks the first of 2, making it a 6-4 game with 5:14 left here in the first quarter.
Rob, you know, Matarese being so efficient makes you think he does not waste his good looks at the basket.
Is that 9 on your side?
I think it is.
And he misses the first one, walks with the rebound. Marion Kane in for the Braves now, comes in for Robinson to bring a little more speed out here. Really going with a kind of a 4-guard. And Thornton will be at the line, shooting 2. Again, Brian, one of the things I love about this team is how much they move that ball around, how they're trying to get it into the post, how they're patient, and drawing fouls. That's second foul on Mariemont. It'll cost them hopefully another 2 points, and the Braves are up 7-4.
Yeah, all 6 players that have been in the game so far were here, you know, the entire fall. They all basically were in open gym situations playing with each other. All made it to the summer events. So it's a team that plays well together.
Contested 3 off the mark. Thornton quickly gets it out to Watts, who gets it down to Lopez, who goes up for the 3, and he's off the mark. And that's going to be off of Mariemont. It'll be Braves ball.
Yeah, that ball off John Michael Sands. Kid, you know, really like watching him play. I mean, if anybody looks like a basketball player in his gym, it's him. 6'4", 6'5" guard. Just keep waiting for him to realize his potential. Comes in averaging 9 points and 3 boards. Having a good year, but feel like there's more there.
A little sloppy passing by the Braves, but they keep control of the ball. Lopez gets the...
Just on cue, he takes it the length of the floor.
Young up with a 3, and he's off the mark. It's an 8-6 game. Braves up with 3:50 left here in the quarter, and that's going to be a quick turnover on Mariemont. So Young's going to take a break. They bring Robinson back in. Watts comes out of the game, takes a break, and Summerall comes in for him. So we've got 2 seniors, 2 juniors, and a sophomore out on the floor. Lopez up off the mark. So the Braves aren't doing well out at the 3 line. They're 0 for 4. And again, defensively, they broke down there and are letting Mariemont take the lead 9-6.
Yeah, this Mariemont team's already matched its 3-point shooting from the first encounter between these 2 teams. If they're making shots, Rob, they're a tough team. Got a lot of good players and they're deep.
Nice roll in by Lopez.
Yeah, Mateo Lopez finding the shooting a little difficult from the perimeter right now, but taking it to the basket. Love that. Ty Thornton doing a really good job defensively on what is Mariemont's most productive player, Max McGowan. Thornton did a great job against him in that game in December.
And
Max McGowan coming into this game averaging almost 15 points and 7 rebounds. And it's a guy that shot it well, kind of got a Wyatt Wachs type of percentage, 48%. Shoot the 3, just an all-around player.
so we're even at 10s here with little over 2 minutes left. Mariemont goes up by 1 on that second make by McGowan. And the Braves have Mac Durbin in for the Braves. Lopez to Wachs. Thornton looking to cut through that lane, and he gets fouled. And they're going to call it on the floor, so we'll have it out of bounds underneath the basket.
Yeah, this Mariemont team's so deep. Not really worried about fouling, but good job by Ty to force the issue.
Watts off the mark. And this Mariemont team's got some good athletes that are fast, go into the lane quick, and there's McGowan for you.
Yeah, McGowan getting it going. That didn't happen in the first game between these 2, and really he is kind of an image statistically of Wyatt Wachs for Mariemont. They get it done in different ways, but both extremely productive.
Thornton up with the 3, and he's off the mark. So the Braves are going to have to So Mariemont goes up by 5 with a little under a minute left to go. Watts goes in, gets fouled by number 3. That'll be the team 5th foul.
Rob, if the Braves can tighten it up defensively, it looks like offensively they're getting plenty of opportunities, whether it's putting the ball on the floor or getting open looks. It's like calling Mac
Durbin for an offensive foul. So it'll be a turnover on the Braves. The Braves, with 48 seconds left here, are down by 5 in the first quarter. Mariemont going for the last shot of the quarter. The Braves will and that's off the mark. So after the end of one, it's the Mariemont Warriors 15, the Braves 10. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Weiler Automotive, Valley Asphalt, Dial One Security, Bob Summerall Tire, Huntington Bank, National Heating and Cooling. So Brian, let's, Mariemont, like you said, can go deep. The Braves are a little thin. We're going to have to rely on some guys that don't have a lot of playing varsity time, like Mac Durbin, who this is his first year playing high school ball.
Yeah, you saw it, 3 Braves in that first quarter. Jake Summerall, Marion Kane, and Mac Durbin coming in and giving the Braves some minutes and getting some guys some rest. And really all 3 did a pretty good job. The Braves right now just got to tighten it up a little bit defensively and get a couple of these looks to go down. It'll happen, but they're going to stay in it with defense.
As we come back to this game, a lot of these boys, are thinking about what's next in life, and after a day like Sunday in the basketball world, and not just the basketball world, where you have 9 people die in a helicopter crash, obviously a famous person like Kobe Bryant, but just the outpouring for all those families that's coming around by the country is actually pretty impressive. In a country that's pretty divided right now politically, it seems like that's been a unifier.
Yeah, Josh Young with the good take on the baseline for 2. I agree. Certain things that just make you kind of pause and step back a little bit, and that's one of them. None of us know the guy, but we certainly all are familiar with him, and anytime you got kids involved, it's a horrible, horrible situation.
So Mariemont drains another 3. And the Mariemont fans over there are pulling up placards with grades.
Yeah, Max McGowan getting it going here.
Another nice baseline by Thornton. And Luke doesn't come out to his assignment and quickly gets another 3 for Mariemont, who's hot tonight at the 3-point line.
Yeah, just a really difficult matchup. And this, again, is a team that's not going to show you a classic matchup. Wyatt Walks doing what he does, getting to the right spot on the floor and making something good happen. Wyatt Friday night against Madeira, 6 of 12 from the floor, 3 of 4 from the line for 16 points, but incredibly 14 rebounds, including 5 of them on the offensive end. And this is the guy that did not practice on Thursday due to illness. Wasn't feeling well and still went out and found a way to help his team and put up big numbers.
So Mariemont's extended their lead. Off the mark that time. Thornton's going to push this ball quickly. He's going to try to get this crowd fired up. Off the mark, Young follows through. It's a 16-21 game, but Braves got to get back on defense. Get their match up. Can't let him shoot from out there.
Yeah, Ty Thornton, we've talked about it all year. When he asserts himself and takes the ball to the basket, he's a real hard guard. Just a length to finish over the smaller defender, and you've seen it here a few times already in this game.
Nice. That was a nice play by Thornton and Young. A little inside-outside with Lopez starting it to Young, who picks for Lopez, then dishes it back out to Thornton and picks for him so he can get a nice little fadeaway. A little bit of reminiscent of the Mamba.
Ty Thornton making good decisions. Here's a kid that just had success taking it to the basket, but sensed when to pull up and shoot the basketball.
Will tangle up on the bodies. It's going to be white ball.
Good effort by Mariemont. Mariemont obviously coming out here with a little passion, a little enthusiasm. And like I said, if they don't have it themselves, Coach will give it to them, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout.
And Mariemont's going to take a full. Coach wanted an explanation of why it was not called a foul. Well, the Mariemont player caught the ball with his foot out of bounds. That's the explanation. That's why it's Indian Hill ball.
Good evening so far for the Braves. The junior varsity won a tight one, came back, played behind quite a bit of the game, and were able to pull out a victory. Tight game, 31-28. And the freshmen who lost by 18 down at Mariemont back in December came out and won by 34. So those young men getting a little confidence, getting a little better, and playing really right now at the peak of where their season's been.
Well, and just down the street, we've got Wyoming playing at Mariemont tonight. I'm sorry, at Madeira. No, they're playing at Mariemont. How's that happening?
Hey, if they kept half the kids back for that one, how come we're not winning?
Exactly. So you got Mariemont and Indian Hill here. You got Wyoming at Madeira. You got Reading over on the west side of town. Well, almost Indiana at Taylor. And Deer Park is at Finneytown. That's the game I'd be interested in seeing tonight. That Deer Park Finneytown game. Finneytown, I think, has surprised a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah, any given night, Finneytown could certainly play with anybody in this league. Or they could get beat twice by Madeira.
Exactly. Braves still a little cold from the three. Hanging in there, down by 3 with a little under 5 minutes left.
The Braves going to play a zone here.
Turnover by Mariemont. It's going to be blue ball.
Wyatt thanking the ref for no call on that contact, and probably thanking Mateo for giving it to him at the last possible minute. But the Braves in a zone. I think this is a little bit better for Luke. Braves may be able to get the benefit of having Luke Robinson on the offensive end without paying the price defensively.
They got to come out on those guys, though. They are hot at the 3. That's got to be at least their 6th 3. I don't think they've made a basket inside.
Yeah, a team that went 2-19, as we said earlier, the first time these two played. And all of a sudden, Rob, we've got a packed house, at least on half the gym.
Yeah, the student section's filling up for a Tuesday night. This is great to see. So the Braves bring it within 4 with that drive by Thornton. The key to a good zone defense is communication.
Yeah, you also got to guard the ball and be active. You know, you're not just playing an area of the floor. You got to attack. I'll tell you what, Mariemont shooting this way, they're going to pull them out of that zone.
Yep.
I mean, they're not carving it up. They're shooting over it. They're doing a heck of a job. Braves had 2 guys at the scorer's table, Marion Kane and Antoine Peak. Looks like we're going to see them here at the next stop.
Thornton off the mark. And the Braves are getting out rebound tonight, which is an unusual thing for the Braves. And Lopez is going to get called for that foul. That'll be his first foul, team 4th foul.
Yeah, Max McGowan doing a nice job not only to get the rebound but to push the ball. He did not have numbers. But, you know, even if you don't have numbers, it's always good to push and just see what happens.
So we got a fan here in front of us, Brian.
Doesn't mean you have to shoot it. What's your name? If they go shy when you ask their name. Going to give that young fan a little airtime.
Brian, I think they're 10 for 10 from the 3.
Yeah, you know, a team shoots a 3 like that, obviously. That's going to be hard. Right now, the Braves just got to stay in the game until they cool off. and maybe go out and extend the defense and force them into something else.
Yes,
Athletically, this Braves team, you'd like to think, if there was a little bit of pressure, might be able to do well in that environment. But,
well, I think if the Braves brought a full court press against this Mariemont team, they could cause a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, not sure they're going to extend it that far with the short bench, but I'm with you on, at least in a half court.
So it's a 10-point game with the Warriors leading the Braves 30-20.
Yeah, just make these guys score the ball from a different part of the floor right now. Chase them off that line.
And that's a takeaway on Mariemont. A turnover on the Braves again, and here's another three. That one off the mark, rebound by Thornton, who gets fouled by McGowan. So that'll be McGowan's first foul, team sixth foul, so it'll be Braves ball out of bounds. Next foul, we're shooting one-on-one. So 2:20 left here in the half. Marion Kane with a three, and he's off the mark. Gets his own rebound, but isn't able to convert that into a possession. Turnover by Mariemont. Wyatt goes in and up and is fouled. He'll be shooting two. So we're in the bonus. So now the Braves will go to the line on every foul by Mariemont.
Rob, with a minute and a half left here in the first half, I'm going to head down. We got the youth teams are going to march across the floor, and if they don't get across in 10 minutes,
it's your fault.
It's my fault. See ya.
See ya. So with a little under, Mariemont's fighting for every ball here. Keeps possession. So Mariemont's trying to hold this ball for the final possession, and that'll be Marion Kane's first foul, team fifth foul. Warriors will have the ball under their own basket. Into the paint outside, not to the shooter, quickly gets the ball around. Drives against Kane, Kane blocks it, knocks the ball away, but he recovers. And that's some good basketball by the Mariemont Warriors, who go up by 12 with under 10 seconds left here. That was Ethan Malfay, a sophomore, and the Braves are off. That'll be Wyatt's second foul, team sixth. Mariemont looking to end this with a long shot, and the Braves are going to go into the locker room here at halftime, down by 12. It's a 32-20 game. A little different story than the first time these teams met, but the Braves are resilient. They've been down before. They've come back. So, folks, I'm Rob Young. Brian Shaw has stepped away from the booth. He's down on the floor to introduce the youth basketball teams of Indian Hill. We're going to take a short intermission here for about 10 minutes. We'll be back with you shortly.
Good evening. Earlier in the season with the Indian Hill Lady Braves. At the end, when the kids get down to the other end of the floor, we'll create a tunnel so that the players can come out and give each of you five and thank you for coming. Thanks to the coaches. Really like to thank the coaches for all the work they do. Really we try to keep it to teaching and making sure that the kids are having fun. And that's the point. And we'll probably be calling Mariemont to find out what you guys do for three-point shooting, as it was hot in the first half, that's for sure. So we'll start with our second grade. The first coaches will introduce the players.
All right, for the team at second grade, we got Sammy Kincaid, Cooper Wynn, Eli May, Corey Thornton, Charlie Metz, Parker Metz, and Ryder McIntyre.
This is the lobby second grade team. Mason Chen, George Cousineau, John Bridge, Elliot Lobby, Arav Patel, and Miles Lobby. Way to go. Team Raider, we have Reed Raider, Cooper Linzel, Brody Donovan, Evan Camp, and Stuart Ashton. Team man, George Gant, James Mann, Will Walker, Uriah Hank, Aiden Hackett, Will Bowdy.
Come on, boy, Mike. All right, we're third grade basketball. We like to think ourselves of the third grade basketball team. And our team names are
Henry Donnelly, Dylan Cat, Drake Moore, Michael Zippel,
Lord Mikey,
Paul Martin, Paul Isaacs, Marvin Pickton, Martin Lee.
Okay, this is Team Makula. They're going to say their own name as well.
Darren Akua, Dennis Comer, Grayson Mitchell, Colin Stewart, Eddie Kuzma.
Thanks.
Adam Lanfear, Leo Smith,
Charlie Pratt, John Hillenbrand, Xander Schechter, George Harrell, Lucas Hughes.
Third grade boys, Peterson and Scovin. Ben Scovin. Will Roberts. Colin Nielsen. Chase Peterson. Adam Peterson. And Jonathan McGrath.
All right, we have the undefeated third grade boys team.
We're undefeated. What? We're undefeated. I know. Oh, you were.
Fourth grade, that's Sam Ness, Bennett Munifo, Ben Walker, Topher Wackel, and Brayden Wynn.
All right, fourth grade Brown, Cooper Fire, Graham Cook, Lynn Kincaid, Griffin Brown, Christian Devitt, Hudson Bruno, Callum Fire.
All right, fourth grade, Ethan Smith.
Jack Rupp, Harry Smith, Owen Kramer, Zachary
Fourth grade select. Woo! All right, Hadley Burbank, Neil Bay, Connor Lindsell, JJ Stelton, Amani Williams, Ryan O'Driscoll, and Copper, Andrew Copper. That's right. Fifth grade Fawcetti.
Parker Haynes, Ollie Peabody Mullen, Logan Khalil, Brady Mitchell, Trey Miller, Martin Zahn, Andrew Williams.
Fifth grade boys, Brody Davis, Jake Lewis, Neil Roy, Tyon Colgrove, Henry Hayes, Nathan Isaacs, Coach Davis. So this is another fifth grade boys. We got Luke Brackley, we got Joseph Miller, we got Jeremiah Westmoreland, we got Miles Chen, and we got Owen Quinn. James Trainer, fifth grade boys, John Hint, Whitney Sherry, Victor Zahn.
Aaron Mack. Tommy Boy!
supporting Brave Up's quest to be LS's Students of the Year. We have Team Brave Up's t-shirts for $10 a piece. Also, Eat for a Change, make dinner a selfless act by joining us for a fundraiser to support Team Brave Up with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Come over to Chipotle at 8154 Montgomery Road in Cincinnati on Saturday, February 1st, between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Grab a flyer or your smartphone, or just tell the cashier you're supporting this cause, and make sure that 33% of the proceeds are going to be building to Team Brave Up and the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. Thanks a lot for helping us to beat blood cancer.
You ready? Hey, you ready? Welcome back, folks. This is Rob Young with Brian Shaw, bringing you the second half action of tonight's game on a Tuesday night where the Indian Hill Braves trail the Mariemont Warriors 20-32. Great night of basketball here. We have all the youth teams here cheering on our Braves, chanting as the Braves came back in after the halftime intermission. Kobe, Kobe, Kobe. And then David, one of our seniors that doesn't get a lot of playing time, David Halbrin flashing the number 24. He's got the number 24 for Kobe Bryant on his body tonight. So, folks, it is a game that the Braves are expected to win, but are down by 12. Brian is paying off some fees and dues and penalties for not getting the youth off the court quick enough. And he is back in the booth. So, Brian,
yes, sir.
What a great halftime intermission introducing all those kids. But you know what was really amazing is the tunnel they created for the Braves to come back out and chanting Kobe, Kobe. And then David Halbrin flashing the number 24.
Yes.
And the Braves quickly score the first two.
Here we go. Those kids might have picked them up a little bit.
So the Braves have got to play tough defense. They got to shut down that three. The Warriors were 10 of 11 from the three-point shot.
Jeez.
They have 32 points. 30 of those points came from threes.
And we're talking about Mariemont, not Golden State, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's going to be Braves ball. Braves players helping the Mariemont player up.
Yeah, we have over 500 kids this year playing basketball in the Recreation Association, and it's outside of the school teams. So, you know, you add in the school teams, and it's pretty much every kid in the village is playing
basketball.
Like that. Recognize it. Good. One more. Love it.
And still off. The Braves have yet to make a three-point basket yet tonight.
Yeah, I tell you, they're doing a lot of good stuff, though.
Watts with the offensive rebound. Pulls it back out, gets it to Young, who goes up. And Young gets charged for. That'll be his first foul.
Multiple shots on that possession tells you the Braves are coming out with a sense of urgency. Love that.
Braves need to stop them here so that they can pull in.
Braves have had some games here in the past against Mariemont that have required near miraculous comebacks. And I don't look at this one as one of them, but they've had some where they're down 5-7 with just a couple minutes left.
Turnover by the Braves.
Yeah, good idea. Tough sequence right there for Mateo Lopez. Really good idea on the offensive end, trying to draw the defense and get his big guy an opportunity right at the cup. And then back the other way. I thought he got ball, but nice job there as well.
So that'll be Lopez's second foul. Team second foul of the half. Braves playing tight defense here.
Mariemont doing a good job of attacking, but not settling for things that don't work for him.
Robinson's going to pick up the foul there. And Matarese will go to line shooting 2.
Yeah, Ryan Matarese has become a really good basketball player. I mean, high school level, CHL. Done a great job for these guys, all-around player. And a guy that, as we said before, makes a lot of good decisions.
And he drains the first of 2.
Doesn't take bad shots, doesn't turn the ball over. And believe it or not, Rob, that's enough, you know. Turns the ball over about half a time, 1.6 a game. Shoots at a high percentage, rebounds the basketball.
Watts feeds it in, gets it back out from the big guy, goes up for the 3 and drains it. So let's hope the Braves can turn around this dry spell with that shot.
Yeah, Braves had a lot of good looks tonight, and have gotten some of them out of that inside-out action. Wyatt Walks knows exactly how to play with Luke Robinson. Throw it in, relocate, get it back.
And there's another 3 for Mariemont.
Yeah, that's the killer, Rob. You just absolutely have to D up right now. You don't have the luxury of standing next to somebody with your hands down. You got to go out and get them.
Thornton drives in, gets caught down in the corner, gets the ball back out to Robinson, who gets it to Watts to set up this offense. Young feeds it into Robinson, gets it to Watts, and goes up, and the basket will count. That's the kind of action that this Braves team is very capable of doing. Sending cutters, putting the ball into the big man recognizing that he's doubled up, the cutter coming in is open, getting the ball in there. Watt puts it up, draws the foul, and now will get a fancy 3-point.
Yeah, Wyatt, we've talked about it, really since last year as a sophomore, played at great pace and just really smart player, all-around player. But recognizing tonight that Luke's doing a good job of passing the basketball, cut was rewarded, and he can finish in tight spaces.
So it's a 9-point game here. I'm not sure why Birch wants to sub in at this point. The Braves are pulling it back, and this is what happened last half. He made some substitutions, and that's when Mariemont made the extension on their lead.
Yeah, I think at some point this Braves team, to get themselves back in the game, going to use up a lot of energy. Going to need some guys to come in and give them something. Great job there by Robbie Gutman, the sophomore. One of 3 sophomores, I think, going into the season that the Braves hoped, would contribute quite a bit at the varsity level. Luke Folke and Antoine Peak at least on that list. Of course, the Braves without Charlie Summerall, without Trey Lopez, without Amari Whitehead, having Josh out for the beginning of the year, the first couple of weeks, and just getting himself back.
Watt draws the foul again. That'll be Mariemont's 3rd foul.
I don't think people, you watch that, and I don't know if Wyatt's grandparents or aunts, uncles, whoever, watching this game, you watch him operate in a small area like that with the hands all over the place, and it really is, it's so much harder than it might look. It's so incredibly, impressive.
Nice inbound, but off the mark. Again, the Braves continue to struggle on the baskets, and they don't get down on defense.
Yeah, offensively, Rob, I think they're getting good looks, and you really can't argue with it. It's just got to get some of them to go down, and there you go. 3-point opportunity, another one.
Basket counts. Thornton will go to the line. Making this a 9-point game and able to cut this down to an 8-point game here.
Wyatt off the floor for about 30 seconds, right back in there. But to your point, I think the coaching staff recognizes how important Wyatt is at this part of the game.
Well, I think you got to have your starters out there and keep your best defenders out on the court.
Yeah, defense the name of the game right now.
Not that these young guys can't bring in and bring good minutes, but you need to rely on your senior leadership and allow them to play this game. And I just sometimes question why we don't stick with a lineup and let them get used to playing. Because in a tournament run, those guys are going to have to play 6-7 minutes a quarter.
Good job by the Braves there collectively to deny the inbound. Force a turnover. The Braves with an 8-point deficit. Opportunity to get this down to a 2-possession game. Thornton
in, up with a teardrop off the mark, rebounded by Matarese.
Good shot right there. We'll take that. And, that's been the case the entire game. I think the Braves have taken decent shots.
Yeah, we're taking the right shots. Good rebound by Lopez. He's going to push the ball up the court. Turns the ball over. McGowan comes up, draws the body and the basket.
Yeah, McGowan with a good idea right there to be the aggressor. And that looks like that's going to be Ty's third, so that's going to add to the challenge. That gets you one way or the other. Either you have to get guys off the floor or guys have to play a little more cautiously. Especially a guy that takes the ball to the basket. You got a lot of things going on here. So big play right there by Max McGowan.
Taking this back to an 11-point game. Too far out.
Yeah, look where Ryan Matarese made him catch the ball.
Matarese up, quickly goes up, off the mark. Rebounded by Gutman. Gutman comes up, gets it to Thornton, who's blocked shot, gets his own shot back, off the mark again, and the Braves are getting out rebound. And McGowan gets called for out of bounds.
Well, Braves getting multiple opportunities, and the hustle's there. Just a matter of, at some point, the worm's got to turn, Rob. Shots got to start going down. On the other end, the Braves really fortunate. John Michael Sims did not force the issue with Ty Thornton, and the Braves able to get away with Ty guarding right at the rim with 3 fouls. If Sims did what McGowan did, could have been a different story.
Gutman going at it. Got to like that young man's defense.
Yeah, Robbie bringing some energy right here. Max McGowan making up for lost time. That game one did not have this kind of night, but doing what he does.
Thornton gets stopped. Gutman to Watts.
Mariemont doing a great job in help, making it really difficult for the Braves.
Watts gets called for the travel.
Yeah, this Braves team going to have to spread them out. Going to have to screen, going to have to move it side to side. This Mariemont team right now doing a great job in help.
That'll be Gutman's foul. His first, team 6th foul.
Really impressed too, Rob, with the way this Mariemont team makes you work.
Gonna bring Wyatt out for a rest. Luke Folke in for the Braves. Quick timeout by Mariemont. That's probably a good call.
Yeah, 3 passes in a space of 5 feet. We talk about playing in tight quarters, but that's ridiculous. Well, this Braves team, you know, down 10 at the half, got it down to 8. Now it's back up to 13. And Rob, with less than a minute left in this third quarter,
they're going to have their work cut out for them.
It really is starting to get to I mean, it's been an urgent situation. It's really starting to mount on this Braves team. Looks like we got quite a few of these youngsters that have stayed. But getting close to bedtime, those youth basketball players got to get home, get their rest. Big day of practice maybe tomorrow.
And Mariemont turns over the inbound pass. Folke goes up, is blocked. Quick 3-on-2 action there.
This Mariemont team, believe it or not, right now to the eyeball, Rob, I would say they're a little more fired up about playing hard right now than you know, perhaps the Braves. I mean, this is a team that has really ratcheted up the intensity.
Thornton with a great basket.
Great individual take.
McGowan goes against Thornton and scores.
You know, I think Max McGowan looking at it and saying, I'm not sure if he wants to come out and foul me. I mean, 4 fouls would put Ty on the bench. So doing the right thing there, very smart play by Max McGowan. Good football player too, Rob, had a great year.
Watts with a last-second shot. Young tries to tip it in and is off the mark.
But, you know, as much as we talk about some of these guys like Matarese and McGowan that have had really good nights, Sens, you know, I mean, unquestionably, but it's these guys, Trubisky, Trubisky and Sizer that have really given them good minutes. Jackson Stevens as well. One guy we haven't seen, I don't think tonight, at least I don't remember, is Tim Stewart. Tim Stewart, a freshman, but he did get minutes and did get points against the Braves in that first matchup of the year.
So after 3, the Mariemont Warriors extend their lead by 15 to 48-33.
And Tim Stewart and that Stewart family, an uncle that played at Kenyon, and another uncle that played at Miami. The Stewarts of Glen Estee back in those days. We'll hear a lot from him. He had a good JV game. So the Braves have played 11 guys tonight. They're trying to find some combination of energy to get back in this game.
Lopez in, off the mark. Robinson with the rebound, off the mark.
Matarese with a just phenomenal job, first to hold off Luke Robinson from position and then to help, come off him and help. Gave up the offensive rebound to Robinson, but the Braves unable to convert. Interesting right there. Mariemont with the ball right in the paint, point blank look, and called a timeout. Maybe working to get it to a closer spot for Ryan Matarese.
Yeah, a little closer. Need an inch or two.
That's right. Let's reset this thing. Well, 7 minutes and 10 seconds left, and Rob, we are getting to the point where the Braves going to need a run. Going to need Mariemont to make some mistakes, and the Braves going to have to really heat it up. This Friday, talk about games in the CHL, we're going to have the Deer Park Wildcats traveling to Wyoming to take on the first place Cowboys. Cowboys with a chance to, for all intents and purposes, put this thing to bed.
Yeah.
Just, kind of occurred to me, Evan Prather not losing a whole lot of ball games.
No.
He might lose one football game, maybe no football games.
Well, what's interesting is I went out to Ohio Hoops, and he is still ranked in the top 15 in the state as a basketball recruit.
Yeah. Yeah, basketball a little easier on the body, but I guess if you love football, you love football. A great job there by Matarese to get a finish. And we joked at the timeout, maybe they were trying to get him a little closer to the basket. They did just that. It's a game of inches, Rob, a game of inches.
Well, and if you're going to win basketball games, you've got to make more than 35% of your shots.
Good hustle there by Young. Braves get possession.
Looking for Mama Young, seeing if her hair on her arms is standing up. You never like seeing your kid go down. Nice teardrop by Thornton.
Yeah, talk about the short bench and then the game situation. Opportunity right here for Ty Thornton to kind of stretch the limits on his ability to score in spurts.
Watts puts it in.
He's got all of it, doesn't he? Doesn't he, Rob?
He's got the game.
Yeah, I mean, there really isn't an aspect to the game that kid can't convert. I think he's the kind of guy that if you ask coaches around the CHL, he might be one of their favorite players.
Matarese in, off the mark. Watts puts it up, off the mark. Robinson with the tip.
That a boy. Go ahead.
And he draws a foul on McGowan. That'll be his second foul. Luke will be at the line shooting 2.
Rob, there isn't a guy in the gym, a parent, a coach, anybody associated with the program that isn't rooting like heck for Luke Robinson to become a force on this team. And
right.
for that matter, the guy sitting on the bench over there, Matthew Veith. I mean, it just changes the dynamic if you can get production. It's so hard for these guys that are that long to be consistent. It just takes longer. and takes more work, frankly,
Luke misses a second.
than it does for a guard.
And Braves do not do a good job of covering up on defense. So we're still at a 14-point game.
Trubisky, I tell you what, he must have been good at capture the flag, snuck down to the other end. Nobody knows.
And I think that's going to be on McGowan. That last foul was not credited to Max. I'm not sure who it was credited to. That's only his second foul. And this is where the speed of the varsity game shows up. You know, Pete's going to be a great player for the Braves, but I don't think he's ready for that speed.
Yeah, and you know, a lot more of it's mental than physical, right? I mean,
Yep.
we look at him and we see him run, we see him play football. Just a mental thing that the game seems faster. Luke Fulke experiencing the exact same thing.
And Mariemont's draining their free throws.
Rob, when the bank is open at almost 9 o'clock at night, you're either at Commerce Bank in New Jersey or it's that kind of night from a basketball standpoint. This Mariemont team right now not taking anything for granted. We talked about it, you know, in the third quarter, how their sense of urgency matched the Braves, even though the Braves were down. And I'd say it's the same thing right now with under 5 minutes left, 14-point game. These Warriors are playing it like it's a one-possession game. Love to see that. I enjoy watching the Mariemont coach quite a bit. Seems like at least a dozen times a game, there's a call, there's a reaction, there's a conversation, there's a settling down, there's a handshake, there's a smile. He goes through the entire emotional spectrum. That's a full day's work. I bet he sleeps like a baby.
Thornton out to walks, off the mark. We are just
And that'll
cold.
stay here. Yeah, you know, a lot of things you can talk about in games, but one of the things you hate to talk about because it either happens or it doesn't is shooting the basketball. But it is impactful.
Thornton hits a three. And Mariemont quickly breaks the press and scores two. So it's a 13-point game.
Yeah, that's two of them that in the last couple of minutes, two easy ones.
Again, I don't think Coach has his best defenders out on the floor. And it's clear nobody's hot shooting tonight. So you got to be able to stop them before you can catch them. And Thornton is inserting his force. That's his 22nd point of the game. But that was his first 3-point, and so 19 of his points have come from the line or the paint.
Yeah. Yeah, starting to figure it out, really. I mean, I've kind of been waiting for that because with his athleticism and length, I mean, it's always there. It's always available. There's really no reason. I mean, it should be an absolute choice that this is a situation where I want to take a three. He's never forced into having to settle for a three. That's not the case with every high school player. Young will come back in for Robinson.
Walks with the rebound. Thornton puts it up off the mark. Nobody in there to rebound the ball for the Braves. It'll be a quick turnaround for Mariemont.
Good ball pressure here by Walks. Come on, Ty. Come on out there. Braves at this point really need to pressure the basketball. Whatever happens, happens. But, you know, just not enough time on the clock to let Mariemont hold the basketball. Josh Young pleading his case to the referee. But again, regardless of whether the guy's at the line or you force a turnover or whatever the case may be, doing the right thing, you got to pressure the ball. 3:18 left and down 13.
And Watts draws the foul.
I'm, you know, sometimes you can give people too much credit. I'm 100% certain I'm not doing that right now, but Wyatt Walks, taking the ball to the basket, knows if he can score and he can stop the clock, that's the best possible scenario for this Indian Hill Braves team, and I know he did just that. Braves with a really, really tough night, getting the ball to go down. Like to see him get rewarded for things. Mateo doing a nice job pressuring the basketball. Going to have to take some chances here and maybe even foul some people. It's not too early. Looking at this Mariemont team, all the players that are actually on the floor right now, pretty good free throw shooters. Everybody in the 60 to 70% range. Makes it difficult for the Braves to really pick anybody out.
Yep. With 2:22, Mariemont's at the line. Bring Robinson back in. Add a little more size in there against number 45, Ethan Mulata. Robinson with the rebound. Braves bringing the ball up.
Nice back cut. Missed him.
Lopez gets hammered from behind.
Well, another good opportunity for the Braves with the clock stop.
Well, I think Coach Birch has given up on this game. He's taken players out that are defensive players and putting players in with very little experience, and it's sad to see him give up on this team that easily.
Mariemont going to get a ball handling team in. Cam Lackney, haven't seen a whole lot of him tonight, but he's on the floor now. Matarese going to force the issue.
He's only taken 2 shots, and they both were threes in the first half, and they both went in.
Yeah, I haven't seen him a whole lot.
No,
but he's been effective. Your point is he made his statement. Yeah, Lackney, one of the guys that really takes care of the basketball in this league. Assist to turnover ratio really good. And a guy last year that did something that's almost unheard of, scored about 2.5 points for every shot he took. Shot at a high percentage, but got to the line quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he's a very efficient player. Another favorite of coaches around the league.
So this is a 60-48 game.
Well,
Braves down by 12.
Matt Reese had a heck of a game tonight.
Yes, he did.
His dad paid $6 to get into this game. And you know what he didn't do?
He didn't waste his money.
No, he did not.
So the Braves are going to go to a timeout.
You know, you hate to think about things other than the win and the team situation, but a couple of things that I think tonight that you see that are good for the kids, good for the program. Ty Thornton figuring out how to get baskets and how to force the issue. There are going to be times when he needs to do it. Unfortunately, it's coming in a tough spell for the team here, being down 10, 2 minutes left.
Yep. So we got some college action tonight. The UC Bearcats are leading the SMU Mustangs. A score of 65-43 with about 32 seconds left in the second half.
Big stretch for that Bearcat basketball team. You're going to have UConn coming up. You're going to have Memphis coming up. And the team in search of a quality win, they're going to get some opportunities. Get back in the pool for the NCAA tournament potentially. Nice to see that the coach and best player kind of got things worked out.
Yeah. Well, you got to like Chris Vogt, though, for the Bearcats. He came in and has been a great addition to that Bearcat team. You got to think next year that Bearcat team's going to look even different than it does this year.
Takes time, and you got to get your players in, and you got to get guys doing things your way. And hats off to their coach for insisting on that. You know, even though it cost them a little bit of friction earlier in the season. We talked about Sizer and his contributions tonight. And this,
they just are not missing tonight.
Yeah, this Mariemont team just at the line, whichever line it is, free throw, 3-point. This is one of those games I think those kids are going to be thrilled on the bus ride home. Too bad it's only 5 minutes.
Maybe they'll go around the hill a couple times.
You might want to jump on 275 and just make a loop because I think it's going to be a good bus ride home.
Thornton to Watts. Watts up and puts a 3 in.
Wyatt's continuing to battle.
Thornton called for a quick foul.
Yeah, Wyatt, such a smart player and so situationally aware of things. And at the same time, what you love is he doesn't care. They could be down 50 with 1:30, and he's still going to play the game the right way.
The ref's talking to the bigs. 45 didn't like the fact that he was leaning up against Luke on the inside down here, and Luke turned and ran, and he about fell on his keister. He thought Luke was playing games. Young with a great rebound, and he gets fouled. But they're shooting too, so didn't really matter. Tee him up, tee him up.
Well, 9-point game, and, they have possession. Obviously, you're going to get fouled. I mean, Indian Hill really doesn't have another way to stop the clock.
And there's that other emotion that you forgot to talk about. The eyes going wide open and the screaming.
You know, it's funny. I was scouting this team out at Taylor, and they had a tough first couple of minutes. And, I mean, he's in total control of the whole thing. calls the timeout and just rips into him real hard. Walks
I'm not
away.
sure why they awarded him with technicals, though.
But, talking to some parents are like, hey, it works. I mean, this guy gets your attention and does a really good job. And I love the fact of how many guys he plays. I mean, I don't think they played as many tonight as they do some nights. But
okay, so they teed both Robinson. Actually, they gave Robinson the personal, and they teed number 45 up, putting Thornton at the line. And Thornton misses the front end.
If you look at the shooting discrepancy, there was a big shooting discrepancy at the game down at Mariemont. The Braves won by 18. You look at this one, there is a discrepancy that I haven't seen it yet, but I'd be surprised if it isn't similar. And the Braves down by 9 and able to cut it even further.
Well, when you start the game off making 10 3-point shots, Mateo be at the line.
Yeah, and then, in fairness, Mariemont did a nice job when Indian Hill adjusted and got him off the three-point line. This team scored in a lot of different ways. It wasn't just shooting. Made good decisions, took the ball to the basket, had a couple of possessions where they knew an Indian Hill player, was on the verge of foul trouble, took advantage of that, got to the line, made their free throws.
Not sure why they're taking Thornton, Young, and Robinson out, but again, there's a minute 17. This game is now
7-point game.
7-point game. This game is not over. And really what they need in there is somebody that's a good face guarder.
Yeah, it looks like offense to defense substitution.
Yeah, but I just don't understand that, Brian. The guy that held West Claremont's #1 player to under his season average, you're taking him out of defense. The guy that held Evan Prater to 10 points under his average, you're taking him out on defense. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and the Braves not catching a break here with the free throws.
No.
McGowan converts and
makes it an 8-point game.
Mariemont continues to cash in.
It's a 3-possession game, but the way the Braves are shooting the three tonight, it's really a 4-possession game.
Well, sometimes you got to tip your hat. And I think this is one of those times. Mariemont may have
Lopez
played.
up off the mark.
They may have played their best game of the year. Not sure about that, but they played awfully well.
That's always the fun thing about Indian Hill, Mariemont, Indian Hill, Madeira, Indian Hill, Wyoming, now Indian Hill, Deer Park. The rivalry in the CHL is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's a great league and a great association. Really enjoy all these different rivalries for different reasons. Obviously, the Madeira and Mariemont because they're contiguous to Indian Hill, and the kids I think so proximate. But the Deer Park has become very interesting with the way that Deer Park is running things, and Wyoming because they're the two big schools, if you will, in the league.
Watts off the mark. Lopez with the rebound, goes back up quickly and gets 2. Tries to draw the foul, doesn't get it.
And when Reading gets it back together, particularly in football, there have been some epic battles between Indian Hill and Reading. And that's fun too. So terrific league. Like to see the league protect itself. Got to kind of stay true to doing things the right way, but it's never know what you're going to get. They bring the best out in each other. I know Madeira, There have been several times Indian Hill has played Madeira and just brought the best out of Madeira.
Yeah. Well, this is not the outcome that the Braves wanted tonight. I think coach is still trying to figure out what this team is. Nice teardrop contested shot. .29 seconds left. It's a 9-point game, so technically it's a 3-possession game. We've seen crazier. But the way Mariemont is shooting tonight, it will be a very difficult undertaking to get make up 9 points in 29 seconds.
Yeah, really hard to steal the basketball. You know, I mean, at any level, it's just hard to count on that. You know, you can foul people. But boy, if they make free throws, it's not a lot of help.
No. So the Braves are back in action on Friday night, Brian, at Reading at their new gymnasium.
Yep.
So
I hear it's a palace, Rob. I hear it's...
well, anything is an improvement over the last 2 years for Reading home games.
Boy, that's awfully tough. I mean, every game, every practice, you got to get in a car and go someplace. And, they've got a nice situation now, though. I'm real happy about that. Look forward to seeing it. And they've got a freshman team, which means there will be fun at 4:30.
One hill to the other hill. Jump ball. Luke Folke ties it up. The scorer's table's gotten tired of changing numbers back and forth. All these substitutions back and forth.
Peak with his third foul.
Blackney with the free throw, and he puts it in.
What did you think was going to happen? It's funny, we had Josh Cooper here a week ago for the Hall of Fame induction, and he talked about, and the coaches talked about how that team got hot. Everybody got hot at the same time and stayed hot for a matter of weeks to get themselves through the tournament, what had been an average year.
And what do you say? They only won 10 or 12 games that year in the regular season?
Yeah, it just goes to show you get hot. And right now, we're seeing it in the microcosm. Honestly, given the shooting discrepancy, Indian Hill did some things right to keep this at 12. But it really is, it's ridiculous. The shooting is
yeah, and we keep going back to that 3-point, you go to that first half, 30 points.
Yeah.
And it was not, and Indian Hill didn't make a single 3-point shot in the first half.
Yeah.
And so you're giving up 30 points right there. And to have this only be a 12-point game is, if you're looking for the silver lining.
Yeah.
In the first half, Mariemont had 30 points from the 3 and 2 from the line. They didn't have any points in the paint.
This Mariemont team comes in at 33% on the year, and Indian Hill at 28% from 3. And Mariemont shooting 45% from the floor, so they're good elsewhere, really good elsewhere. But this is an Indian Hill team that continues to just not shoot it real well. You look at the 3-point shooting percentage. The Indian Hill Braves now, I think it's 7th out of 8 teams. And you would not have guessed that given the guys they've got on this team.
Young with a 3, and he banks it in.
Just to be clear, that doesn't begin to make up for what we've seen tonight as far as the good fortune in shooting the basketball, but we'll take it.
So this game ends 65-72. Hey, we scored 72 the first time. They scored 72 this time.
Yeah.
So there's the winning number, 72. So, folks, I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw here on a Tuesday night. We're going to call it an early night. Be brave, be proud, support your Indian Hill Braves, and we'll see you back here on Thursday night next week for the Seven Hills Indian Hill game on a Thursday night. The replacement game for the Hughes game is on Tuesday the 6th. It's a Thursday night. Brian, you'll have to broadcast that one by yourself. I'm going to be in Wichita, Kansas.
Are you? The Wichita Shockers. I love it. Well, enjoy that. Be safe in your travels. And thanks again for tuning in. Sorry we didn't have a winner tonight, but hopefully you got to see somebody that matters to you. And we got to bring it to you here from Indian Hill. Good
Thanks
night.
to all our volunteer students for the camera work, the in-booth work, and I'm supposed to give a big shout-out to the trader, Randy Church, who's coaching at Wyoming tonight, and his son, Will Church, is our producer and director tonight. So big shout-out to Randy Church. Folks, I'm Rob Young with Brian Shaw saying good night.
Good night,
Farewell.
Churchy. Good night, Churchy.
Exclusive coverage of tonight's game on the Indian Hill Television Network has been a copyrighted presentation of the Indian Hill High School Video Department.